Okay, so as promised, I hope I'm recording. Yes, I am. As promised, I'm going to give you my bale counts for the year. Now, I'm not quite finished here at home. We have some second cut that I will be doing over the course of the next week or so, clearing out the dirt and debris from the corn fodder job. But I do plan on making about I expected to do somewhere between 300 and 700 bales to go yet. So I'm just going to, I could cap off my number at, say, 11,500 bales for home, but I'm just going to say it's 11,000 bales. We did a little more than 11,000 bales, just a little bit more than 11,000 bales between the three balers, the Heston, which baled, a fair amount, and of course the two krone balers. The old krone baler, or the one that's behind me right now, did the least amount of bales here on the farm because it came back from North Carolina later. But we topped off at 4,380 some bales on this one here at home. The other baler was, 5,900 or so bales. So we're just going to say that it's 11,000 bales, and I know that's short, that number is short for at home. But I do know that, just say 11,000 there. We did 8,675 bales of corn fodder and 12,334 bales of wheat straw, which gives us a grand total of 32,009 bales. That's the number. My phone is in here because it was dying and it needed to be charged. So I'm going to come on out and talk about this. The balers did wonderful. Everybody was telling me that the balers would be destroyed by the time I was done, and it was, the end of the world, and how could you do that to such wonderful pieces of equipment? Krone will be junk. Well, they're not junk. This baler has almost 44,000 bales. If it doesn't have 44,000 bales on it, it's done wonderfully. I did run some hay through it the other day, and you can see it here. I've cleaned out the fodder that popped on out of there. The knotters did not want to work for the first 4 or 5 bales. I think that there was grit from the type of soil that we were in that had built up in the rollers on the needles and the tucker arms and the tucker fingers and all that other stuff, which caused mild binding. And after 20 or 30 bales, they loosened up and off it went. Now the new baler, which is out there, I just got it back today, just brought it back today. That one is going to have to go through the same treatment probably tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and rake up some hay that I have mowed already, and we're going to run bales through it. And I'm going to clean that baler out, and it is going to be completely washed down, and we're going to go over it. There's a lot of warranty work that needs to be done to it. So I got to call up Messick's and get Gerald out here to do some warranty assessment on it. And I do have a bucket or two of parts here that needs to go back that were warranty parts. So 32,009 bales, just call it 32,000. That's a fair number, I think. I think it's probably a bit higher. I know it's a bit higher than that, and it will top off closer to 33,000 bales by the time we are done, but I'll just settle with 32,000. That is more than double of what I normally do in a year with one baler. So we did a lot. We did a lot. It was a lot of work, but we had fun doing it, so that was just the way it goes. What else can I say about the jobs? The things that I experienced while on those jobs, and different farmers, and not all farmers are equal. I will tell you that. Some farmers do much, much better than other farmers, and it's usually the one that wonders why their yields aren't so good are the ones that are not such good farmers. Like, oh, everybody else seems to be doing better than me. I think that the baler operators are screwing me over. Well, I can tell you, the baler operators aren't screwing you over. It's just a fertilizer program and a timing issue and all that other stuff. And and I'm just talking in general over the wheat straw, the corn fodder, and my own my own self, because there are some farms that I do that are not as that didn't yield as good as I'd have liked them to, and I know the problems. You know, it's just I know what the problems were: timing and soil health and other things like that. So yeah, but there it is. There it is. I do have a little damage here somewhere. Someone got a little close to it. I just have to bend that back, get her back in shape. So yeah, so my thoughts on the fodder job is that I will do it again next year if I'm asked to. If I'm not asked to do it, I'm sorry. You know, it will kind of bug me a little bit because we did do a good job. I know there was one farm that I wasn't keen on doing, and I liked the guy that that I was working for, but he pushed me a little bit, and I wasn't there when the problem arose, and we cut some ruts in the field. And when I got the phone call from the people that hired me, I was like, okay, I understand why it happened, but I was told that ground would be dry. Don't worry about it. If I have to show you, then well, I don't want to be shown that it's dry. But it wasn't dry. It wasn't dry, or I wouldn't have had ruts from one end of the farm to the other. So that was really the only problem that we had, and I think the farmer's a little pissed off at me. But I guess it comes down to those were the labor pains. You got the baby, and those were the labor pains. So it's unfortunate that we did that, but it is the way it is. I felt that I was being pressured to do it, come hell or high water, and I had to do it because I really want to go home at that point. And if I didn't do it when I did it, the next day it rained like hell, and we would have had a major disaster. I'd probably still be sitting down there waiting for that piece of shit to dry out. But that was just shitty ground, but whatever. That was the only real problem that we had on the fodder job. The wheat straw jobs, I've got a lot of footage from that, and I'm still debating whether to release it or not. I just got some really negative crap from that. So I think what I'm going to do in the end of this is actually go ahead and put a video together of the entire summer and release it at around Christmas time. Not for sale, not for anything, just 5 seconds of every minute of video that I did, and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it comes together pretty good. I don't know that I want to put it to music. I may, more than likely, do it for the action shots, and then, of course, the bits and pieces. It all depends on the editing. I'm not a great editor, by no means. But here. So anyways, the 7530 is back. Obviously everything's back. We cleaned it up a little bit today. I do have an issue with my heater. I ain't got no temperature. And I want to point out a problem that we have encountered with the tractor, and it's kind of my fault, and it's kind of Joe's fault, and it's kind of gonna be a pain in the ass, but it's a repair video, and it's a repair series. So this is a brand new power takeoff shaft. Do you see how loose that is in there? That causes a hell of a shaking and shimmying. This collar that's in here wore. Every once in a while you're supposed to grease this inside this shaft, and I wasn't vigilant, and neither was Joe, and it got dry and it wore really, really, really bad. So I have to take all of this stuff off of here, everything, including the drawbar. I'll pop the drawbar out, pop these bolts that go through here. Those have to come out, and then that whole housing will come off. I'll pull that out, and I'll get a new seal for in there, obviously, when I go ahead and put the new piece in. So, but that's really the most damage that we had, and it's just a simple gear set in there. It's not really that difficult. I believe there's a cage that holds it, and it is just going to be a pain in the ass. But for the most part, I've done it on the 8120, I've done it on the 8530, and now I'm going to be doing it on the 7530. That shaft is the large 20 spline large 20 spline PTO shaft, and if you don't grease inside that shaft there, it will cause you this problem. It just gets rusty and then it just wears metal on metal. Most all the other tractors have the heavy spline shaft are, you know, they're there. Obviously they're there, but they need to have they need to have grease put in there if you're going to use that stub shaft. Now the 8530 has a big long shaft that goes all the way to the front, and I think I showed that repair. This tractor is not turning the heat on, and I'm not sure whether it's my heat sensor or my sending unit up there, or whether it's underneath the seat, which I got a pretty good idea. It's under the seat, and I have to, there's a little motor in there that turns. I just have to get it in the parts department there and figure that out. So, but yeah, there's a lot of work that's going to be going on here this winter, and yeah, I just wanted to touch base on the bale counts and stuff, and we'll be setting up the tripod when I go out and bale tomorrow. I'm probably going to bale tomorrow, just enough to get the bale out of the other baler. I'll go to the field, get the corn fodder, get the grit out of the knotters, and that'll all be blown off and stuff and cleaned up, pressure washed and gone over. My phone's ringing, so I gotta answer that.